What's good, everybody? This your boy Twice,
It's your girl Tay.
and this is another episode of Facts and Feelings. Where today, as you could see on the cover, we'll be discussing the execution of Marcellus Williams. But before we jump into that, we want y'all to do what we always ask y'all to do: go on out and share the podcast to your followers. Hey, if you can, grab the link and text it to some family members. And don't forget, you can all if you're on Facebook, you can always send them over to YouTube to Facts and Feelings the podcast, where it's live there too. Because we know all our family members are not on Facebook or Instagram. But listen, we're gonna run this commercial and we will be right back.
I wonder if it's facts or feelings that you're feeling. I don't know if you know what's for real. Baby, just relax and chill. Let the tea spill. I bet the chemistry stop the bill. I wonder if it's facts or feelings that you're feeling. I don't know if you know what's for real. Baby, just relax and chill. Let the tea spill. I bet the chemistry stop the bill. I wonder if it's facts that you feeling. I love the fact you chillin'. These hours fly by when you and I is chillin'. These hours fly by, feel like a couple minutes. Seen you on my timeline. Hold up, wait a minute, twice and take. Yeah, you know they always catching up. Keep us up to date, cause it's hard to keep up through the day.
And we are back. What's good, everybody? Well, I got it all shared out. Tay, did you get it shared out?
I got it.
Well, that's what's up. Again, we are back with you all today live for another podcast. You know, we always give you a fact and a feeling and say we already know what the fact is, right?
Right.
We think the whole world at this point, if they got a post and got a TV, uh, know what the fact of the matter is that Marcellus Williams was executed. How do we feel about it? It's one of those ones that we're just kind of like, why? We know that he was found guilty, right? But there was a lot of other things to go along with it, and it's just with so much going on, trying to overturn the execution. It's like, why did this still take place? Tay, before I just kind of give a little intro to break down for those who might not know everything, how this started out, you got anything you want to say?
Well, I mean, you kind of laid it all out, and I just think, yeah, I think a lot of people are confused about the whole thing. I think he may have been found guilty in like 2001 or something, and so I just think that everybody's just kind of at a loss for words. Just
Right.
when you kind of lay it out or whatever, it kind of will make more sense for some people that are not privy to the information, or just not knowledgeable of what the facts of the matter is or what it appears to be. So yeah,
Right.
confused about it, a little disturbed about it, but let's get into it.
All that stuff you just said right there. And what I just wanted to say, I know I said I was going to kind of break it down for everybody so they can know, but I'm just going to read a little uh, portion of something that I found. And it just says, Tay already said it was in 2001, but in 2001, Williams was convicted of the murder of Felicia Gale, a former newspaper reporter and a social worker who was found stabbed to death in her home in 1998. During the trial, prosecutors said that Williams broke into her home on August 11, 1998, noticed the shower running, and picked up a butcher knife and ultimately took her life, supposedly. Uh, Fast forward to what's that, maybe about 23 years later, maybe? Yeah, 23 years later, because August has already passed. Marcellus was executed. Not only was he executed, but he was executed amid strong innocent claims. Go ahead, Tay.
Yeah, I mean that's it. He was executed. We had a lot of claims and a lot of outpour and outcries. To cancel this execution, reaching out to the governor, the Supreme Court, and no success. And even in this process, we're not talking about his family members per se. We're talking about
Right,
the prosecution. Yeah, we're
right,
talking about the victim's family. Uh,
right,
so yeah, it's almost kind of unbelievable that this execution wasn't suspended or at least paused until this new evidence was really examined in the way that it needed to be examined. Uh,
Right.
but after all these years, I know they've been going back and forth, trying to overturn his conviction because a lot of people are like, well, why did they wait this long to try to, stop this execution? But it
Right.
wasn't long. This is how long the fight has been going on.
Exactly.
So, and a lot of people just didn't know about it until we got to this point. So it's
Right.
a sad thing. It's really sad and it's really questionable. And I'll go even deeper because they're thinking that it was racially based because the
Right.
entire jury was a peer of white people, and they feel like it was racially motivated. Well,
Right.
we don't know. You know
Yeah,
what?
we don't.
We don't know. We can make, we can give you what our thoughts are behind that. We know when certain things happen, and the victim was white. But
Right.
sometimes when things happen, and you have law enforcement that are always being pressured to find, the perpetrator and find somebody guilty and close a case. We've seen evidence, just from past history where some
Right.
people have been found guilty and they were innocent.
Right. Exactly.
And they're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and sometimes people become guilty until proven innocent. So
Right.
not that all these people are coming out saying, hey, what about the victim's family? No, the victim's family was in line with stopping this execution. So yeah.
Right. And I just want to add this. Thank our viewers for tapping in. We've had several to tap in, and Carmen said that she knew this would be the topic today, hence the reason her stomach was in knots. And we thank our sister Claire Goods for jumping on. My math wasn't mathing. I said about 23, 24 years, I think, and I see what it was. She said that it's 26, and that is correct. I think I was going from the conviction and not the actual murder. So it's been 26 years, man. That is a long time. And as Tay was speaking, this is unique because it wasn't his family crying for his life. Uh,
Well,
what I read,
ultimately,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't his family. It
mm,
was more than his family. The execution came despite one of the prosecutors in the case saying that Williams' life should be spared because DNA did not connect him to the case. Come
yeah,
on now.
yeah.
So
They said
so you
that the murder weapon had been contaminated.
murder weapon been contaminated.
Mm,
DNA does not connect him. Uh, we still had critics that are calling for his execution or whatever. But when you get a prosecutor crying out for his life, his family, of course, crying out for his life, and the victim's family, I read somewhere the victim's families, was calling to spare his life, which you've alluded to. And it's like, we're gonna go a little even deeper than that. I did read that the justices rejected two separate appeals to spare Mr. Williams' life over the objection of liberal judges Kentanya Brown Jackson, Elena Keegan, and Sonia Sotomayor, if I'm saying that right. And a day after they were calling for a day after the Missouri. Look, them MISS got me, but a day after the Missouri Supreme Court and Republican Governor Mike Parson declined to step in on Williams' behalf. Hey, I'm like, this is somebody that the people vote in, right? The
yeah.
people voted you in, but you don't want to step in on behalf of the people because he was, of course, he was already incarcerated, became governor, but you got prosecutors crying out, man, and you still just overlook that. You don't have time for somebody's life.
Right. Absolutely. And I was trying to get down to where I kind of read because it was very, very it was kind of gut wrenching, kind of like how Carmen was saying, her stomach was in knots. She said she knew this was gonna be the topic for today. Yeah. But the thing about it is this is one of those types of convictions. Um, Execution is something that cannot be overturned.
Mm-hmm.
You can overturn a guilty plea, and but execution once it's done,
No.
done.
Right. It's final.
It. So there's no going back from it. So the thing about it is, we're not here to say whether or not he's innocent or guilty. What we're saying is this is the evidence that's been presented to say that there was reasonable doubt that he may not have been guilty.
When he was found guilty.
And so, with that being said, the realization of this is they should have paused this, at least to look at what evidence was being presented. Because again, execution is one of those things that you can't come back from. That's death. That's it. That's the end of it. And as governor of the state of Missouri, I do think that he should have utilized his power to at least say, we're going to put this off for X amount of time to give you guys time to process whatever evidence you have and present that before we move forward with this. So that's something that if this man was innocent, that's something that he cannot come back from. And not only is whoever did their job and they executed this man, but this blood is also going to be on the governor's hands if this man is really innocent.
I agree. And as you was talking, I was just sitting here thinking to myself, because just kind of piggybacking off something you said earlier, some think it was racial motivated. And one of the things that Carmen said to speak to that was, we all know that in many cases, any black face will do. And I mean, that's just the reality of the fact of the matter, that is the truth in many cases, not just some cases, but in many cases. But also just kind of wanted to speak to, man, just how this could have caused a lot of uproar within the state of Missouri, within the city that it was in. I thought it was huge when I seen his son come out and speak. I seen a TikTok with his son speaking, and he was just like, we didn't get him on this end, but we'll get him on the back end. And he was just so humble when he was said, and he also came out to say that his dad was saying that he didn't want any rioting, he don't want nobody looting, he don't want nobody to hurt nobody else on his behalf because he didn't hurt nobody. And I was like, man, it doesn't take a whole lot to say that part, because, when you're just wired right and you're forgiving, that's just kind of what you say. But in that moment, I'm talking about like same day, you're able to compose yourself to express, what your father's feelings would be. I really thought it was huge. Sometimes as individuals, we need time. Like, give me a minute. I'll speak on that tomorrow. But he was able to just jump right back in and speak to it. You can go ahead.
Yeah, and I was gonna say also, time. That's the huge thing in this situation, and it's something that Carmen said at the end when she said pausing this wouldn't have caused any harm. The man was already incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? He's already on death row. So pausing this wouldn't have caused any harm, but there's a possibility that pausing this could have prevented harm, which was the death of this man, whether he was innocent or not. It could have prevented potentially, and I say potentially because I don't want anyone to get it misconstrued. I'm not saying that he's guilty or innocent because I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't part of the investigation. However, if this man was innocent and the state of Missouri has murdered him, because that would have been what it is, they have murdered him and he was innocent, then that's not good. It's not
that's
good
fine.
for the state. It's not good for his family. It's not good for the victim's family, because at the end of the day, that means that her murderer is still out there.
It's still out there.
Yeah.
And look, and one of our guests, I was just seeing why our sister Claire Good said, she stated, her own family, she says that we are dealing with the same thing in my family. No evidence, but they gave my loved one 30 years in prison and they found no proof that he did anything. And I'm going to think that's probably here in Mississippi, because I know Claire is here. And it's just sad, like, that just kind of, I'm sorry I had a moment there, but that just kind of show us how common this is, that they really just want to lock us up, throw us away, and take our lives. And after if you've taken 30 years from a person, uh, Minister Clara, how long of that sentence has your loved one already served? I'm just curious. We're gonna have to have you on one day. I'm just curious because they are, man, it's just amazing. It's mind blowing how the system would do us.
Uh, I'm sorry. I was saying if you don't have any proof, how can you justify locking somebody up? So I just get 30 years and there's no evidence to back up what you're doing. You know, nowadays everybody say you got to have some receipts. You got to have some receipts to be putting me away for 30 years. That's life. What you got?
Thanks.
Tell me what you got. You know, what puts me there? What witness do you have? And sometimes even with some witnesses, you have to really make sure that your witnesses are credible, you know. So I mean, yeah, this is sad. This is ridiculous. You know, we got to do something. We want the justice system to work and to bring justice in situations where family members are suffering, where victims are suffering. But we need to make sure that the justice system is really thoroughly doing their job, and they're not just trying to close a case for the sake of being able to say they don't have a cold case, but this case is closed.
I like that just for the sake of saying they don't have a cold case, but this case is closed. Definitely praying on behalf of your loved one, Minister Claire. She stated that they had the trial in August. And you think about it, if it is something that you want to get on and do a podcast, just kind of bring some light to it, let us know. One thing that I forgot earlier, I want to say, Tay, you was kind of mentioning, and I think Carmen mentioned how just hitting pause, and let's look over that. You know, I just came out of prison break. I just watched all 5 seasons of Prison Break in about 2.5 months. And it was at one point in time where they did that for Michael Schofield. It was some other stuff going on. I think it was some faulty equipment. But you can definitely, this don't happen every day. You don't have the family of the accused, the family of the victim's family, and prosecution saying, hey, let's spare this man life, saying that the DNA don't even connect him, and you still don't take the time to govern your state accordingly. Come on, Mr. Governor. I mean, come on. Your prosecutors of your state said let's spare his life, and it appears you didn't have time to look.
Yeah, not he didn't have time to look through it. And the thing about it is, yes, Carmen, I was about to mention that the Innocence Project is an awesome organization that, you know, fight and they advocate on behalf of those victims that have been put in prison and in prison on false terms and very similar to Clara Goods. um very similar to Clara Goods' family member. And I actually signed the petition for them to pause this execution. And I because I do believe they should have taken more time to really look at the evidence. If the prosecution was presenting something where there was raising doubt that this man could have even been connected to this crime, they should have really taken the time to look at that and consider that and just pause it, like you said. It's just too much. And I encourage you, Claire, to reach out to the Innocence Project and get them involved in the situation with your family member on this front end before he ends up spending 20 something years of his life in prison for a crime that he did not commit. So, yeah, please reach out to them and see if you can get some assistance on behalf of you and your family and your loved one to see what they can do to help out and just work this situation out for you all as well.
Yeah, it's sad the way they do us. You know, I could go a step further and say it's sad the way people are done, but it's simple for me to say it's sad the way they do us because this is something that we have seen far too many times. And little did we know that we was going to have a guest on the podcast today whose family is experiencing the same thing. So we're definitely going to be praying for the family member, the loved one of our dear sister Clara Goods.
Yeah, most definitely. And we definitely appreciate y'all jumping in and kind of providing feedback. Of course, there's nothing that we can do on behalf of Marcellus at this time. You know, because his life has already been taken. Um, my prayers definitely go out to his family as well as the family of that victim because maybe they had the right person, maybe they didn't, but that's something that we'll never know at this point. So I just, I pray for them, their comfort, their peace. And even just the uneasiness that they might be feeling, thinking that perhaps their family member didn't get the justice that they feel she deserved. So, yeah, you guys, Claire, y'all family, be encouraged through this process and just go ahead and jump on that Innocence Project now so that y'all can start getting that support.
Oh, that was Karma. Karma just said she just hold tight till the last shall be first. Amen. And definitely gonna be praying for everybody involved because I'm like Tay was just saying, man, death is final. Death is final. And I don't know how this situation will be rectified, but it definitely won't bring that family member back, that loved one back. But I promise, no dollar compares to having your dad. You know what I'm saying? No dollar compares to having if there's grandchildren or siblings or even parents. I don't really remember how much I read into that. However, the state of Missouri should have to play financially very dearly. That family shouldn't have to worry about anything else. Not only did they rob him of 26 years of his life, but they robbed him of his life. And it's not because he died while incarcerated, it's because they took his life while he was incarcerated.
Yeah, especially if he was innocent. So that's something that
Exactly.
yeah. Somebody's gonna have to answer to that. So yeah. Yeah. So we appreciate y'all, jumping on and interacting with us and engaging. We love the interaction. Again, y'all have any topics that you would love for us to, kind of talk about and bring to the Facts and Feelings podcast, hit us up, inbox us, message us, let us know so we can bring it to the table and just discuss it. We want to look at the facts and then it's okay for us to talk about our feelings. And Naya, we still appreciate you jumping on, even with you being late. Um, Naya says she think they were avoiding the lawsuit for holding him while being innocent, and that's why they executed him. Sometimes there is cover up. So just to put it in a nutshell, sometimes that does happen. And Carmen giving us a whole beast talking about
Well,
it.
look, we're going to have to let that one unfold. Look,
Let's get it together. We're gonna watch a little bit more so we can see because we definitely gonna go down a rabbit hole.
it's definitely a rabbit hole, baby oil field rabbit hole.
Oh God, now he being messy talking about
What's up, cousin Teresa?
Teresa. Yeah, he being messy, y'all. But listen here. I definitely been watching everything because we're gonna bring it, we're gonna talk about it. But
Oh wow, Naya said that the feds just released that the 1,000 bottles of baby oil was actually ecstasy. Wow.
see,
Yeah.
Carmen,
Rabbit hole.
we got to get some more stuff together. We got to really, really it's just the study coming out. So I've been watching the news headlines, CNN, MSNBC. I even dib and dab some in Fox. I want to be balanced. So when we come home, we got some information from all different outlets, and we doing our own research online and stuff.
Look, I read that in Claire's voice. She said, I'm not gonna play with you. I read that in her voice. But before we go, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Did he know it was baby oil or did he know it was X's? Did he
do it or did he not?
Did he do it or did he not?
Yeah. Suge Knight laid out a whole bunch the other night. So yeah, it's a lot. So with this the podcast about Diddy gonna be a little bit more than about 20, 30 minutes, y'all. So y'all
Right.
we gonna have to promote that one for a while so we can all get on here and really discuss it.
Right. Well, y'all, we thank y'all for y'all time. This has been another episode of Facts and Feelings. This your boy Twice.
It's your girl Tay.
We'll holler at y'all.
I wonder if it's facts or feelings. stop the bill. I wonder if it's facts or feelings that you're feeling. I don't know if you know what's for real. Baby, just relax and chill. Let the tea spill. I bet the chemistry stop the bill.
I wonder if it's facts that you feeling. I love the fact you chillin'. These hours fly by. We